Hey, good afternoon and welcome to an AHRK Insight Line. I love Thursday afternoon because AHRK Insight Line reveals to me where life is headed next. Have you ever been lost? Have you ever been confused? Have you ever been in the place where you just don't know what is coming next and you're like, I want to know how to go forward and get the best thing possible? Well, the AHRK Insight Line has been designed just for you. Today we're tackling a rather interesting topic, looking at favor versus favorites. And I want to invite you right now to just kind of recognize, what is it that you want in life? Do you want to be somebody's favorite, or do you want to have the favor of the world coming for you, the favor of somebody else? Maybe that doesn't seem like much now, but we're going to unpack that today and really get into an understanding of how does AHRK cultivate, develop, and invite greater favor in your life. And unfortunately, when we choose favor, it means you might not have the favorite. And why that's important is we are going to help you recognize that Insight Line invites you to life above the line. It invites you to take a breath and really begin to release control. Because when we're trying to control the world, the situations, and everything that's going to happen, our stress, our anxiety, our burden, it weighs us down and we miss out on the joy of life. So, welcome to Insight Line today, where we are going to unpack favor versus favorites. So let's just take a couple things that we're looking at in favor. As I talk about favor first, I just want to invite you to recognize that we've all asked somebody for a favor before. I mean, right? Where you've reached out and said, "Hey, I need a favor." When you're asking for somebody for a favor, you're not expecting them to charge you. First and foremost, when you open the conversation with, "Hey, can I get a favor from you?" You're really saying, "Can I cash in my relationship? Can I get a little handout or a help? Or can I get a discount?" So you're asking for something from somebody else to make your life better. Okay? AHRK is a lifestyle path of better choices. And so, well, asking for favor from somebody might get old, or it might seem like you're taking advantage of them. I'm going to invite you today to recognize that there is a way to ask for the favor of the kingdom to come into your life. And if you've never heard those words or had that concept, that's really why you want to stick around, because in the same way, when you ask a favor of somebody, you recognize that they have the ability to help you, to resource you, to give you something out of their surplus of abundance. You don't go to the beggar on the corner and say, "Hey, can I get a favor from you? Can you help me?" Very rarely would you go to somebody who has less than you, or somebody who's in a difficult situation, and ask for favor from them, right? So, where would you like favor today? From who, from what, from where would you want to step into a place where the favor would give you an advantage, would give you a preferential opportunity to say, "Wow, that made a difference in my life"? Do you know how to ask for that and get it in such a way that there's no obligation to pay back? That is what the AHRK path invites. It invites you to recognize that life above the line is better. And life above the line is going to invite you to become the person who can dispense or give out favor. I mean, at first we might start from a place of going, "I could really use some favor." But let me ask you, are you the type of person that likes to do favors for other people? Because when you become the type of person that has an abundance, that has a mindset that there is enough, that I am enough, that I'm not lacking, that I'm not in a place of struggle, that actually giving out favor becomes a joy, where you recognize that it's not going to cost you to be deficited. It's not going to cost you to lose. You're simply going to, out of the surplus, give favor. So as we look at this lens of favor and we recognize that favor is a desirable state, whether it's to receive favor from somebody or to be in the place to give favor to somebody, favor's where you want to be. Now, at the same time, we're going to contrast that today with favorite. Favorite often requires you to choose, to select, to make a choice and put on a scale of this is best and this is less. And why we want to avoid favorites is because somebody's going to lose. So in the kingdom realm of favor, we're going to recognize in the win-win of the experience. And in my life, I always look for the win-win. Now, what is a win-win? It means that whoever you're playing with, they're going to win and you're going to win. And so I have found partners in my life where when we play, when we work, when we put our heads together and create something, it's a win-win. So let me invite one of my favored friends to join me on set right now, who we seek out the win-win every time we play. So Bernard, why don't you come join me? Walk across that camera.
Love that. Thank you.
Join me on set.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So I've just been highlighting a little bit of the reason why favor is always better than anything else, but especially favorites.
Love that.
And there's a recap for you. Favor demonstrates that there's no need for payback. So if I ask you for a favor, I'm already telling you up front, I'm not going to pay you back. And I believe that it's good to be able to receive favor, and it's good to be able to give favor, because we have a free and open relationship here where out of abundance, we're exchanging, we're transacting. Imagine transacting in a place of favor where you're not counting the cost and go, you owe me $4.75.
Love that.
We've done that with our kids. We've recognized that if we could educate them to know that they can buy me a coffee and I can buy them a coffee and I'm not keeping track, it's a favor. Now, what happens when I put all the favor in and they get all the benefit? What happens?
Joy.
Joy. And he wasn't even here for it. That's exactly the right answer. I have the joy of having an extra coffee with my child.
Yes.
And we enjoy it together because of the favor that flows and moves. But now, imagine if I only buy a coffee for my middle son. How do my other two kids feel?
Oh, not good.
Not good at all, because I chose a favorite.
Yeah.
And I said, for you, I will do something, but for you, I won't. I'm going to charge you and you're going to have to pay me back.
Not one of my favorite transactions. But favor is one of my favorite transactions, actually.
So go ahead.
Well, I mean, it's I want to call it, it's an old world paradigm. Favor is an old world paradigm because there wasn't a lot of money to be transacted. And so what was transacted?
Trust and favor.
Trust and favor.
Yeah.
And, with the onset of currencies and abundance of currency and everything becoming monetized the way it's been, the world changed. Now, everything is transactional, but from a monetary perspective.
And I love that you brought it to that point, because if you've asked yourself, yeah, Casey, must be nice for you and Bernard, I bet you guys are indelibly wealthy, and that's why you think that favor is the way to go, you missed the point.
Yes.
It's actually where you begin to keep track of where your money is. And I'm not talking about poor stewardship. I'm saying if I'm counting every penny before I decide to give, before I decide to execute favor, giving it out, I've undermined the realm of favor because I made it a monetized commodity.
Correct.
Difficult.
Well, and I'm going to bring it into a different realm and just to keep the conversation moving in one direction, which is love. One of the love languages, and if you haven't done, if you don't know about love languages, you need to find out. I mean, that's, there's no questioning that. But again, giving gifts is a love language. And for me, it's when you give a gift, it is a favor. It's a transaction of love, knowing I'm giving a gift to someone. And for me, that's what favor is. It's if I do an act of service towards someone, it's a favor, but it's you're favoring them in love, and I want to keep pointing to love as the reason why we need to transact in favor, and not because, hey, I'm going to do this and I'm hoping that they would reciprocate. You just killed the transaction.
Yeah. Because you were expecting payback.
You're expecting payback.
Which nullifies favor.
Which nullifies favor, and it ends in disappointment all around, no matter where you go.
So I want to pull the love languages. There are 5 unique love languages. We're not going to go into a love language conversation, but we would love to. You can text that number right there. I'll send you a love language test, or just go Google love language. It's fabulous what's there for you. But the joy of love languages is that when I love out of my love language, it's actually a way I love myself. So there's a win-win. There's a win. There's a dual benefit of me loving somebody out of my love language if they receive it. Now, here's the unique part of the love language is just to give you a little bit. My wife's love language is acts of service. So we've been married for 25 years. Guess what? Guess what my favorite love language to demonstrate is? Acts of service. Because I get the greatest reward from loving my wife in the love language. Now, my love language is, do you know my love language?
Money. No.
I'm okay with that too.
I'll take that. No.
I'm a words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation, Casey.
So the fact that Bernard got the wrong answer, it just really hurt.
No.
I'm recovering.
I was joking. I was joking. Here, okay, wait. See, love being.
Come on,
It's
give me
coming.
the love. Oh, that would be a gift. Gifts is another one. So it's words of affirmation. This is a gift, acts of service, quality time, and physical touch.
Yes.
All I'm highlighting here is you can give favor by learning somebody's love language.
Yes.
When you know how they receive love in the best way, it's the easiest way to love on them. And you're giving them favor by saying, I could love you in any way, but loving you the way that you best receive it is to give favor.
Now I love what he just said. And because again, I live that mindset and I strive for that. And one of my biggest motivation when I learned about love languages was like I understood it clicked for me. And guess what happened? Imagine the wealth that you currently have.
I feel my need to put my hand on you right here.
Please do. Please do.
You know why?
Tell me.
Because he's physical touch.
Yes, I love that. I love that. And for me, this is normal and it's natural and it's comfortable. And the reality is, imagine if your love language, you learned a new love language. Imagine all the joy that you experience in one channel. Guess what happens if you learn the second? Wait a minute. How about a third channel of receiving love?
Mm-hmm.
How about 5 channels? Imagine the abundance that you would feel if you opened yourself up to receive love in 5 channels. What would that look like? What would your world, what would our lives look like? So the conversation of why transact favor? Imagine what you're going to learn, what you're going to get out of it.
Wow. So you set up a concept that you didn't know I wanted you to set up. That was
Okay.
that was favor to me.
I love that. So
I wanted to contrast favor versus luck. Okay, because there are some people that want to cultivate luck, and and we're just looking at favor here today versus favorite. So we're contrasting how is favor different than luck, and what Bernard was just highlighting is there are 5 love languages, and if you can only translate in one love language, you better get lucky that the person you're trying to love would have the same love language. So if I'm speaking acts of service, but the person I'm talking to or loving on really is gifts, I didn't get lucky. But if I'm trying to transact love language of acts of service and the person receives love language, woo, I got lucky. Favor is really about an understanding of focus and beginning to learn to read and understand everything that's going around you. Everything has purpose. Everything has meaning. Everything has value. And that definitely pertains to people. And so favor is a transaction between people. I don't have favor on an inanimate object, but I have favor on a person, or a person can have favor on me. So as I begin to perceive, understand, and connect through the AHRK process, I acknowledge, I heal, so I can actually engage and not bring my own issues up or get their issues triggering me. I restore by paying attention. We've restored and built who we are by knowing the love languages like that. We can list them off. We can live into them. We can shift.
Wow.
And then we stand to the kingdom place where we go, I know what my love language is, but important for me in a kingdom place is to love you in your love language. It's not lucky.
Go back and watch it again. Go back and watch what Casey just did. How did he bring it into the AHRK path? And I think it's brilliant. If you didn't get it, if you didn't see it, go back and watch it again. And because it really brings it to you, and it is a choice. It is a choice for you to pay attention. It is a choice for you to be aware. And but in order for you to even get started, you have to do one thing. So if you're watching this, go get a piece of paper. I just grab a piece of paper. Go write the word luck on there, or lucky, and then we're gonna do this together. 1, 2. Erase it from your vocabulary. There is no randomness. We take ownership of our lives. We take look, we take control of our lives,
Mm-hmm.
but it's not from a point of wanting to control my life, but understanding that it's my life is not random.
No.
People around me, the way they're feeling, experiencing, I can impact them and they impact me. And it begins with awareness.
Mm-hmm.
I need to acknowledge that it's not just this random luck, crazy world that we live in. There is a design, there is a purpose, and there's a way to connect with people.
Yeah.
And going, well, they're just like that. No, no, no. You can love on anybody. It's hard. You can love on anybody.
So we're going to take luck, and I'm going to go fishing. I know a story that's inside of you. I'm going to see if I can pull it out.
Uh-oh.
What is a common response that you would give to somebody when you're doing a raffle, and then they say, "I don't ever win anything"?
Mm.
How would you engage with me?
Oh my
I, I,
gosh.
don't- I don't ever win. Why would I play?
Love that. Love that. It's a value proposition. I it's I wish it just I wish it just meant that I wasn't lucky. Most of the time it just says I wasn't valuable enough to win. I'm not
Mm.
valuable enough to win. And therefore I'm not even going to try to enter. And so most people end up don't believe that they are valued enough so they to win, and so they won't even make the effort to enter any of the transactions. And we've given away.
So
We've
I'm
given.
going to pause you before you go there because
Okay. All
it
right.
was so good. You just said that most people don't believe in themselves enough to even enter.
Correct.
And then they don't enter because they tell themselves I'm not lucky.
Yes.
Pick that up again and say it again because
It's going to be hard to repeat that,
it's going to be no, you don't have to repeat what I was you're
I'm not
saying
valued
that
enough. Yes, I'm
that
not
for
valued.
somebody to play in a raffle system or to put their name into a pool to be drawn out,
Yes.
they have to believe in themselves enough to believe they deserve to win, they could win, they
It,
can win.
it's a celebration.
Mm.
Let's go through it. For me, and it began with my father. And early on, it didn't matter. The joy of putting your name down and putting it into a raffle box, I won. The transaction is complete.
So win.
Win-win. And it was, I didn't even have language for it. All I know is, ever since I was a young man, I would watch my father joyfully enter contests, and every time he entered one, he won. Now he didn't always physically win, but he was always, he had this mindset that he always won, because he was just full of joy in that regards. And I learned that, and again later on the ARC path, I started to understand more. Is it's just that concept of, there's a celebration. I'm going to enter, and I already won.
So when this is we want to help you win.
Yes.
That's what today
Yeah.
is about. We want you to win. And so if you're ever having an opportunity to enter into a raffle drawing or some type of opportunity to win, if you're thinking in your head, there's no way I'm going to win, don't play.
Yes.
Because you've already nullified the win-win.
Yes.
And then when you win, you're immediately going to discredit yourself and say, well, I never win. This is not normal. I got lucky. Now you've done strike one, strike two, strike three. So shift that today and go, I'm going to win just by entering because I'm now a part of the process. What process you're asking? You're part of the ARC process. You acknowledged that you can play, that you have a contribution, and you're going to heal the mindset that says, I'm not lucky. You're going to heal the mindset that says nothing good comes my way. You're going to heal the mindset that tells you you don't deserve to win. That's healing needs to happen to shift that narrative. And then you're going to restore and invest. And the investing is how you play. Even if it was a free raffle, it took initiative for you to invest to play. Write your name on the card. Maybe it's a $5 raffle. We do that with a Rotary all the time. Hey, if you're local to San Dimas, come to the Design Center, the Elba Design Center tonight, 5 o'clock. You better be local. You're not going to make it. We're going to do a raffle right here. Come in. I believe you can win.
Yes.
And that's where the kingdom plays out. I just brought it back. Why is favor possible? It's possible because the ARC path makes it so at every choice.
Yes.
And so we looked at favor's not luck. I'm going to take it deeper. You're not ready for this. Favor is not karma.
No, no, no.
See, he wasn't ready. Oh my gosh, Casey, where are you going? In fact, it's almost the opposite. I mean, really, when we think about karma, it's whatever you pay out, you're going to get back. Good, bad, indifferent, ugly. Favor is of a different realm.
Yes.
Okay, because we are moving in favor. And I love that Bernard said it. As soon as he put his name into it, he already won.
Yes.
Now, it doesn't mean he's going to win the drawing, but he's more likely to win than somebody's thinking negative.
Yes.
This is where your focus goes, energy flows. Give your focus to the kingdom. Give your focus to the win. Give your focus to the possibility. Anything you want to say why favor is different than karma?
Oh my
Not
God.
knocking karma, just contrasting.
Yeah, thank you for the. I think there is a gosh, you're crossing you're crossing realms here.
Of course I am.
It look, the reality is it's a manifestation of you. Favor is it's a manifestation of who you are, your being, emotional, mental, physical, and spiritual. However you perceive reality, and we have 8 billion people on the planet. We have 8 billion different perceptions of reality. But I believe there are these 4 paradigms. There is this spiritual reality, and when we transact something, we give away, we transact us. That's the transaction. You guys are the transaction. So when I enter joyfully into something, when I participate, when I go to a lunch, when I go to a meeting, that meeting is different because I showed up. And so the favor, the acknowledgement is going, it's not randomness, it's a choice. What are you
Yes.
choosing today? And so when we choose to set up, but karma's not like that. And it's something completely in a different realm. Favor is when I choose, I change that reality. I make an impact, and that change, if I'm in a healthy mind, heart, body, soul, spirit, however you want to look at it, I am impacted in a kingdom way like you wouldn't believe. But if I'm unhealthy, then I impacted in a whole other way. And that's not karma.
No.
That's not karma.
If you don't know, if you haven't watched many Insight Lines or watched Bernard and I before, we don't prepare each other for what we're about to toss each other. So I just want you to know that was a completely unscripted answer. So if he said anything that bothered you, triggered you, or made you think, oh my gosh, what's this guy thinking? I just sprung that on him in the moment. But it's okay. He has favor. And I pray, I hope, I trust that he has favor with you today. And I love, that was an amazing answer.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing it. As we look at this, the reason why we're setting this up is we really want to contrast favor today as the key expression of what happens when you walk along the arc path. As you live this out, this expression rises up. It does emerge, and this is what Bernard was saying earlier about the raffle, is you have to believe to play. And we want to see you play. We want to see you play at the kingdom level. So do you believe that there's an arc path for you where you can acknowledge all the possibilities, where yes and no is available, and then you get to choose? And in healing, we move into this place of self-control where it's not about controlling the outside circumstances. It's about knowing that internally, there's only very few things I can control. But when I choose them, I find healing. I can control what goes in my mouth. I can control what lives in my head. I can control how I show up, but not even sometimes how I interact with other people. But I can move into a place of restoration, which is self-discipline. This is the strategy. It's the focus. It's the structure. Favor thrives in the environment of structure because it wants consistency. Then when you have structure and consistency, favor can rise up and go, I've got something even better for you. Let me show you. Let me doubt on you. Let me abundantly lavish you. Fun stuff. Then we come back through the kingdom lens to go, I want to stay there more of the time. We set all this up to look at if favor is the expression of the arc path, why is favorite not?
It's as a construct, it's single focus. It's not an abundance mindset. It singles out transactions, situations, people, but it also what's the word? It's too much of an exclusive club, but it rejects everybody else. And
That's a key element right there.
That rejection is hurtful and painful. I don't want to be rejected. I know you don't want to be rejected, and I hate it when I get rejected. And so, but it's this concept of so when a favorite transaction happens, one person gets favored, everybody else gets rejected. And when you shift that to favored, when we come and you can favor one individual, and and it's a mindset shift
Yeah.
that one individual becomes favored. But again, your mindset is everyone is favored.
Yeah. And favorite happens. It does happen. There
Oh yeah.
when you have a meal that is your favorite meal and you go, "Oh my gosh, this is my favorite meal." If it was prepared by somebody who loves you, guess what? You just honored them and you said, "Hey, thank you." But guess what you also did? You told everybody else who prepares a meal for you that yours is not as good as this one. This is why we want to be careful with favor versus favorite. And if you have a favorite meal, just a concept, show favor the person who made it
Yes.
and say, wow, I am really blessed that you have prepared this in such an amazing way. It really it satisfies me and meets me in a place like no other. How can I show favor back onto you? And then find a way to avoid the preferential treatment or the rejection of everything else.
Yeah.
And along the ARC path, you're going to learn how to acknowledge that, heal that, restore that, and stand back into that place. It's not a one and done thing. That's the beauty of the ARC path. We are standing in favor today because we've been cultivating this lifestyle for really much longer than we even knew. As Bernard talked about a childhood memory with his father, he knew it, but he didn't know how to articulate it. Do you know it? Do you know favor today?
Mm.
If you know favor today, you are going to be able to walk it out on the ARC path today. If you don't know it, hopefully you just learned something about it. Favorite is a rejection of something else. It's a preferential treatment of something which causes there to be a controlled mechanism to what you allow to come into your life. And this is contrary to the self-control of healing. You're now trying to control circumstances. In the insight line, control is down below, and it's an illusion. Okay, this is why favorite is a short-term experience. How long does something remain popular? Can you think of something that was once popular that's no longer popular?
Phone booths.
There you go. First thing off
What's
his
a
head,
phone booth?
what's a phone
That's what
booth?
we're talking about today. What's a phone
Phone booth and Rolodex.
Yes.
I don't know where we're going there. Popular is a favorite category.
Yes.
And it doesn't last. And as we lean into favor, what we're telling you today is that it not only does it last, it multiplies.
Yeah.
The more you believe that favor is a win-win and you long to be the person that is able to give away favor, the more favor you have. And it sustains and it becomes truly a lifestyle path to better choices.
And I'm going to jump in because that mindset is so critical. When you receive favor, you can interpret it as favorite or favor.
Mm-hmm.
And here's the caveat. If you receive it and you hold it, it becomes favorite. If you receive it and then if my mom makes me a meal and I turn around and I love on my siblings, then that was favor. I'm taking that love and I'm spreading it around. If I take it and I hold it, go, look what I got, favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So even if it's intended to be sent at you as favorite, you can turn around and turn it into favor by giving it away. And love language is an amazing paradigm for the mind. We have not, you, me, we have not been trained enough to love. Period. No matter
Mm-hmm.
what you think or believe, there's way more. And favored is a perfect example in how it lives out.
Yeah.
So I just invite you to meditate on that and practice it. Share. So bring some of that food over here.
Just drawing it back to the insight line. Above the line in the insight line is love. Below the line in the insight line is fear. And fear causes us to guard, to protect, to survive, to count how many we have left to decide if I'm going to give you one or not. Because if I've got 3 cookies and they're my last 3 cookies, why am I going to share them with you?
Yep.
Then I'd only have 2.
Yep.
And favor says there's more cookies that are going to come.
Yes.
I can love. And love will sustain and make the world go round.
Yes.
And so today we want to invite you to recognize, when have you seen favor? When have you experienced favor? Do you want to experience more favor? If so, I hope by watching today you were able to pick up how would you cultivate it? How would you develop it? How would you figure out where to begin? You'd start with A and say, I'm going to acknowledge that I want to keep track. I want to measure. Am I receiving favorite and turning around as favor? Do I get offended when people ask favors of me? If so, it's because they're not your favorite people.
Yeah.
But turn it around and go, wow, they honor me. They see something in me that maybe I don't see yet today, and I get the opportunity to respond in a way to giving favor.
Love that. Love that.
Where do you want to go to take us home?
You know what? What's different about the ARC path? Why have this conversation? Why dive into um, a word or concept that you already know? Because I think we know the words, we just don't really understand the depth of how they live out in our world. And that's the ARC path is about healing, but in order for us to heal, we have to heal the concepts that we know because they're missing something. Just like I said, imagine love. We taught everybody songs. I don't care what culture, race, language. So many love songs and songs have been written about love. But look at our world today. How many people really transact love every day, every moment? Maybe I can't even get my finger that small. That's the challenge. Is we know these constructs. The ARC path invites you to. It's a growth edge.
Yeah.
But don't be content where you're at. It's a growth edge where there's more to be healed. There's more to be celebrated. And guess what's going to happen? I'm waiting to learn from you.
Yeah.
What did you encounter? Because your life is so different than mine. Get on the ARC path. Start acknowledging and healing what's happening in your world, and then come and share it. Because that's how I'm going to grow. I'm waiting to grow and learn more how to love, how to transact, but I'm waiting for you. And that's the invitation. This is not just me and Casey hanging out and we own the ARC path. Guys, you own the ARC path. It's a kingdom mindset. It's a kingdom lifestyle. It's kingdom leadership, kingdom communication, and it's kingdom community.
And it's available for you.
Yes.
So walk in favor with us because we're going to stay there. And we'd love to invite you to join us. And if you'll even get close, we'll send favor your way. So God bless you. Have a great day. We hope to see you soon on the ARC path. Join us.